Hello again, everyone. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And we're ready to bring you the NBA on 2K Sports. This is a look now at the State Farm starting lineups. And one of the players we'll be seeing in this one, Luol Deng.
Yeah, Deng is so dependable at both ends of the floor, Kevin. He's about 6'9", long arms, good athleticism, and he just stays after you. He can really guard because he anticipates well and he understands what the offensive player is trying to do.
That's exactly right, Steve. He's an excellent defender. Nothing flashy. Offensively, he's solid as well. A good jump shooter who can catch and shoot or even dribble into the smooth pull-up.
Earlier this season, it was Chicago coming away with the loss in this matchup against the Lakers.
And it's hard to point out anything that they did well in that loss. I mean, the game never got out of hand, but they were pretty shaky across the board.
And, Steve, you know how optimistic and positive I am, and I had a tough time finding anything positive either. I mean, my goodness, they did keep it somewhat close. I guess that's the best I can say at this point.
Well, what's the old saying? If you can't say something nice about someone, don't say anything at all.
So the Chicago Bulls able to put up the first points on the board. Gets it to go. Kobe's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
And you can just see what his offense means to this team. I mean, it's obvious. They really rely on him to score the basketball. You know, the defense that time was just content to stay out of the way. I mean, no resistance at all. They let him do exactly what he wanted to right there.
Steve, no one looked too anxious to take him on.
No, you know, guys, I think that speaks to his strength and his agility. I mean, he's not a guy you want to stand in the way of as a defender.
You know, the Bulls have been a regular fixture in the playoffs since joining the league, literally. I mean, with the help of Michael Jordan, they have become, along with the Celtics and Knicks, one of the most storied franchises in the Eastern Conference.
And here we go, the Bulls, fast break. Rose, and he slams it in one-handed.
You let him get to the rim, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You deserve that.
Yeah, he's more than capable. You're right, Clark, of providing some great highlight reel material.
Yes, sir. And for a point guard to finish like that, I mean, that is just special.
The Bulls have gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. And with 6 banners hanging up in Chicago, the city is really cultivating a lot of pride and winning tradition here with the Bulls. And, you know, Steve, that goes a long way. You were a Bull player at one time. You know all about that pride.
Yeah, no better place to play in the NBA than Chicago. When you're winning, the whole city loves it. Obviously, Michael Jordan was the main reason for that era. But so much history now before the Bulls, and they sell out game after game. Unbelievable fan support.
I'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
It's their second meeting with the Lakers this year, and Coach is hoping things go better for them as they drop the first game. He said, quote, "I think we came out a little timid the first time. Gave a little too much respect to Nash and Kobe and their bigs. Now that we have that out of our system, I expect a much more physical game on both ends of the floor. Should be a great game, guys."
All right, Doris, thank you very much. Here's Blake, following the score by Derrick Rose. Shoots. That doesn't go in either for Kobe.
I thought he'd make that one, and that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
Well, for Lakers head coach Mike Brown, one thing you can say, he'll never come into a game underprepared. I mean, great attention to detail, extremely hardworking. He's a guy who leaves nothing to chance.
And the Lakers have possession. Following the score by Luol Deng. Howard, he's covered by Deng. A nice shot by Howard.
If he gets a glimpse of an opening, he's going to take it right to the rim.
Rose attacking. Left side Rose, and that one's good. And we're talking about Lakers head coach Mike Brown, Steve. What have you noticed about his style as a coach?
Well, Kevin, I played for Mike Brown in San Antonio when he was an assistant. He is very meticulous and methodical in his approach, detail-oriented. His practices are very well organized and scripted. He's really a fun guy to be around, very charismatic. So I think he's got all the tools to be a great head coach. It's just a matter of really developing and growing with this Laker team.
Last game for the Bulls, they picked up the W against the Utah Jazz.
And Kevin, what I like most about that win was their offensive creativity. They had a really varied approach to the game, and it worked well.
And they sure did shoot the ball well too, Steve, and that never hurts.
Here's Blake, following the score by Derrick Rose. Backing down is Bryant. And it's out of bounds. The Lakers able to retain possession here. So both teams making some changes here. Count it from 12. Kobe's got 5 now.
Great execution coming off that inbounds play.
Kobe against Jordan. Up in time. No good on that last second attempt there. A free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring through one. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Bulls?
And they're really keying in on getting as many good shots inside the lane as possible. They're doing a nice job of not just settling for outside looks.
Yep, I agree. I mean, they're working it inside and doing it with intention and purpose.
The incredible post duo of Powell and Dwight together inside. Andrew Garbach is out there with Kobe. And it's Jamison in at the small forward position. That's the group for the Lakers to start the second quarter.
Well, there's some very popular destinations for free agents around the league. Chicago, New York, Miami. But for me, the Lakers are still the premier market for players. It's a big city, a history of winning with the Laker organization, and fantastic weather, of course.
Meta World Peace, he's checked in for Dwight Howard. Outside Jordan. He dishes it to Rose. Here's Boozer. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. And Steve, to follow up on your point, the whole aspect of Hollywood has always been a big lure for the Lakers as far as recruiting Clark free agents.
We've seen it over the years with all the big names they've gotten assigned in free agency. No doubt about it, the Lakers are still one of those destination teams for a lot of players in the league.
Now here's Rose. After the miss from Pau Gasol. That one goes. Count it. That's 7 points for Jordan.
And that's his first three-pointer, so maybe that one will get him started.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Kobe attacking.
One of the things about Derrick Rose that you love is that he's a gym rat. He's a basketball fanatic. But it's interesting. He's not really into playing a lot of pickup ball in the summertime. In fact, he's even said he doesn't really enjoy the NBA All-Star game that much. He likes the real thing. He wants to play to win.
And Kevin, while we have a moment here, let's take a look at the Bulls and see where they rank over the last month in the NBA stats. First in field goal percentage. First in fewest turnovers per game. And they're number 2 in team three-point field goal percentage. They've got a lot of guys who love the three-point shot, and they do a good job of running plays to get those guys open.
And the shooting is really what stands out to me. This is a team that does such a good job of finding open looks. They're unselfish. They work offensively to create good shots. And when they do that, they're on their game. They're tough to beat.
Going back to Rose in the All-Star game, he even got asked about his not dancing during the East All-Star intros. I mean, he said it just wasn't him. I like that.
I love that. You got to stay with what you do and who you are. Do you. That's what we like to say. He's all business. He's playing in the shadow of number 23, the legendary Michael Jordan, and it's hard to imagine him shaking a leg before a game. So I think Rose is on the right track there.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Kobe. Releases from the wing and drills it. Kobe's got 7 points in the game.
You know, it's interesting. Sometimes with him, the contested shots are the ones that he tends to make. You know, sometimes if he's wide open, he misses, but you get a hand in his face, he seems to relish it.
And I think he's one of the best at finishing in close quarters, too. I mean, it's very hard to knock him off his shot.
Boozer, no luck. Last game for the Lakers, they picked up the W against the Raptors.
And that was a character game for them, guys. They could have closed up shop when they were way behind in the fourth, but they fought their way all the way back to win it. It was incredible.
Not an easy task at all, Steve. Being as far down as they were, as late as they were down, I mean, they almost had no business even winning that game.
Well, some players just get hotter as the season goes on. And that's definitely been the case with these point guards since the All-Star break, as you can see in these shooting percentages. Derrick Rose, number 1.
And that percentage is what you'd hope to get from one of your big men. To get it from a guy who spends most of his time on the perimeter, though, I mean, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, Steve, he has been a laser. That's what coaches call dead-eye shooters, lasers. His number 1 job is to create looks for his teammates. But as you can see by that percentage, he's just as good at creating high-quality chances for himself.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, the defender draped all over him.
Pretty plain and simple.
Howard kicks to Ebanks. And the pass to Blake. The feed now to Howard. Pass to Kobe. Knocks it loose. Expanding his range. And he beat the buzzer. But it's no good. Close game as we wrap up.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Hello and welcome. With playoff seeds hanging in the balance, let's recap the first half for you. The Bulls are in a close one against the Los Angeles Lakers. At every opportunity, they're pushing it on the break and looking to run it down the opponent's throat. We've seen Derrick Rose scoring effortlessly against the defense of the Lakers. He has 12 points and he's had some good court vision, helping out in the assist department as well. Not to be outdone, the Lakers also giving it their all. This game's lived up to its billing. 2 fantastic teams duking it out. Their top scorer, Kobe Bryant. He's got 7 points and also helped out with 2 rebounds. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
Well, why eat at the drive-thru when you can sit down at the buffet and have all you can eat, Clark?
Well, I know you've been listening, partner. I like that. That's exactly what you need to do. Take advantage of what's available.
Here's your Tom Thibodeau is starting the second half with Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer, and Joakim Noah, the front line. Michael Jordan is up there at Derrick Rose.
You know, when you think about the history of the Lakers, obviously some phenomenal talent, Jerry West, Magic Johnson. You know, you can talk about the big fella with the sky hook, but Kobe Bryant, I mean, you can make the argument that he is the greatest Laker of all time. Think about that.
Wow. Big thought there, Steve, on Kobe Bryant. I tend to agree, potentially the greatest Laker of all time. Clark, what do you see?
Well, I'd have to put him right there at the top of the heap. I mean, there's such a storied history of great players. But Kobe would be, in my mind, at the top of the list.
The dish to Blake. Feeds it to Howard. Working on Noah. A fader. And the Lakers take on 2 more.
I can imagine they're going to hear an earful about this next stop. I mean, that's 3 straight field goals given up right in the middle of the lane. Inexcusable.
Well, defense starts at the rim. I mean, you want teams shooting the ball from the outside, and that's not happening. They're just giving up everything inside. And you look at Bulls head coach Tom Thibodeau, considered by a lot of people to be the architect of the defensive philosophies that have been embraced by most of the league, and that is loading the strong side of the floor in the half court and kind of zoning up, basically, and then sending the ball handler baseline into help down on the block.
Here's Jordan following the basket by Dwight Howard. The drive by Jordan. Left side Jordan. Another one falls for Chicago. The Lakers in the lead. Well, Steve, going back to Coach Tom Thibodeau, our listeners might say, well, he's only been a head coach for a couple of years. How could you be so influential? But prior to that, he was an assistant coach in the NBA for 2 decades and really built a nice reputation.
And whether it's in Houston or Boston, he's always played that key role in creating those stingy defensive schemes that he's known for. Obviously, he's taken those to Chicago now. The Bulls have been one of the best defensive clubs in the league the last couple of years. So Tom Thibodeau, no question, an excellent defensive coach.
Here's Jordan following the basket by Kobe Bryant. Jordan, the pass to Rose. That's good. Rose has got 14 points.
Good start for this offense. They're shooting 3 of 4 now from the field, so offense in a good groove.
Jamison, a screen. Kobe kicks to Blake. Six on the shot clock. The Lakers need to get a shot off here. No good from Howard.
You know, as tight as this game is, you have to like their chances the way they've been rebounding.
They have a pretty good margin in that department, so they've got to continue to hit the boards hard. It'll pay off for them in the end.
And Kobe throws it down home.
Went for the two-hand throwdown there, needed safety and power.
Chicago also making some changes. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Muhammad. Boozer comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Dang in for Richard Hamilton. Here's Blake. He's got 5. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. The Lakers have shot 3 of 5 at the foul line.
Well, they've been a relatively poor free throw shooting team, about 72% as a unit.
And, Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Antoine Jamison's checked in for the Lakers. From deep, Jordan, it's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 3 assists in the game. Morris gets to Gasol. Jamison inside. Drops in the layup for 2. Jamison's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Boy, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
Boozer dishes to Jordan. Lets it go with a 3. Good! Jordan's got 8 here in the quarter.
That's his second three-pointer of the half and his 3rd overall.
Tipped away. And here we go, the Bulls fast break.
Ooh, that was awesome.
Look out below.
Oh my goodness, did he use a launching pad to elevate like that?
I think he did a catapult. He was flying high.
Oh, no question. He was all over the rim.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff. For the lead. And no good trying to get that one. Tie game in Los Angeles. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
43.
As the fourth quarter gets going, let's swing it over to Doris Burke to find out who's had the Sprite uncontainable game. Doris?
Thanks, Kevin. Today, it's the Lakers coming away with the uncontainable game. Things have been going their way through the first 3 quarters, and with the way they've executed, there is no reason to think it won't continue on.
Thanks again, Doris. The Bulls shooting an efficient 53% from the field. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter.
Oh, ridiculous move. Tore it down that time. Throwing it down with one hand and making it look easy.
Easy and fun. He just thrives on making the D look silly.
Yeah, which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
Special thanks to Sprite for that sweet replay. Pass to Kobe. Over Jordan. Kobe, no luck. Chicago leading. Goes off the pick from Noah. Rose attacking.
And this is why you need size inside. The ability to contest shots and force misses.
Steve, that's exactly right. Even when you get in close, it's still a tough shot.
Blake kicks to world peace. Here's Hill, and that one's good.
Yeah, we're now starting to see them get some high percentage shots in the paint.
Yeah, that's and a change for the Bulls. Michael Jordan is checked in for Nate Robinson. We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. The shot's good from Jordan.
This guy knows how to get it done. He knows what he's doing out there. A nice job from the three-point line this half.
And Kobe, here we go. And Noah with the block. And here we go. The Bulls fast break.
And Kevin, he's always aggressive offensively, but it seems like late in the game, he just becomes an assassin. I mean, when the game is in the balance, that's when he's at his best.
And something else he has on his resume are his ball skills. What a ball handler and dribbler. I mean, he looks like he was born with a basketball in his hands. It looks like it's part of his body.
Jordan against Kobe. Jordan kicks to Rose. Boozer. Rejected by Gasol. They get it back. And finished off by Noah. We're in the fourth quarter here. Just under 2.5 minutes gone. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones. A long time without a basket.
They got to find something. You're right. Gasol, no good.
Surprisingly, he hasn't really been a big part of their offense. I don't think he ever got into a rhythm.
Jordan kicks to Rose. Boozer. Kicks to Jordan. Lock at 6. And he bangs it home with one hand.
He's definitely showing some real sweet dunking skills here.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. What a play.
Yeah, that was spectacular.
Timeout call for Lakers.
Yeah, he's seen enough of this interior scoring that his defense is giving up. So the message during this timeout is to lock things up inside.
You know, sometimes a group can just get spaced out on defense. They're not connected and playing 5 as 1. And usually a timeout can help you refocus and recalibrate that defense.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, Kevin, Mike Brown was just going over the plan with his team. He gave his guys the green light to keep firing from downtown, telling them, listen, I like the work you're doing out there. Keep finding those gaps on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots.
And they double up Jordan. Boozer. Jamison covering. That's good. 6 points for Carlos Boozer.
As soon as the double team came, he immediately looked to find the open man.
Blake kicks to Kobe. He's against Jordan. Dishes to Howard. Another shot. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Well, that's the way to get the board there.
Just been rebounding well all game long. Rose, no good.
Well, those chances are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
And it's slammed in by Howard.
There's one thing about the alley-oop. You can't fire the pass in there. You got to have some air under that pass. It needs a little hang time.
That's exactly right. A lot of finesse, just like that one was. Perfectly thrown.
And that's what makes the play so much fun to watch. There's finesse on the front end, but then power on the end.
The drive by Jordan.
Oh, get it! Oh, watch out now. That's taking it strong right there.
Yeah, finishing in style.
You can feel a sense of anticipation when he heads for the hoop because that's what he can do.
To the inside. Here's Kobe. Connects. What a beautiful shot to Brown to within 3. And you could feel the crowd react as one.
Yeah, that side got them out of their seats and off their hands.
Guys, they just exploded when it went down.
Blake up top. He's covered by Deng. Blake passes to Kobe. Cannot hit, so the Bulls will take it the other way. There's a 4-second difference from the shot clock to the game clock. We can probably expect to see him slow it down now.
Yeah, you got the lead. Burn some clock here.
Smart move.
Yep.
Jordan against Kobe. And they double up Jordan. Over Howard. It's in!
And they add to this lead, trying to close this game out.
I think it would take a lot of luck and maybe then some. I mean, might be time to pack this thing in.
For 3, Kobe. That doesn't go in either for Kobe. And so it's Chicago winning this one. They came, they saw, they conquered.
Hey, Kevin, to me, any win is a good win.
Well, that'll do it For Dorisburg, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Holland saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Michael Jordan.